the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today that trusts choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday and previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I'm, of course, your host, James J., alongside the leader of Squash Squad, Kaliko Yas.
And I hope to be official ambassador of Lucha Baboon, but that's a whole other story for another day.
And it was a good week for Wrestling Wit as we interviewed Jesse J on Tuesday and Zelina Powers on Wednesday. Two incredible interviews, two unique interviews. Definitely go into our archives and check those out. This upcoming Monday, because it is the last Monday of the month, and we always have one extra interview on the last Monday of the month. We have Sunny Z, straight from Thailand. Great interview, great individual. You might hear some names that we haven't talked about for quite some time on that interview as well. This Tuesday we have David Mockery, um, the the coach at the Wrestlers Lab. We talk about that. Something called the Kill City Cup, and being there for Ric Flair's impromptu match with Jay Lethal, and a lot more with that one. And then this upcoming Wednesday, we have um, Peter Olisander from Denmark. Just won the Body Slam Championship. We talk about that, conspiracy theories, and a hell of a lot more. But don't take my word for it. Here's some clips right now.
For me, it's very, very meaningful because that's where I trained. That's where I trained for years, and I still definitely one of my favorite place to be. And then I left for personal reasons because I always want to move to Asia, and there's an opportunity back then I can get wrestle in the OWE. So for me, I took the opportunity. I left, and then it's kind of cool. I can get back, and then I get accepted by my coach, and then we still good friends, and I can to like return after all these years and wrestle. I call it my home promotion. It will be like for me is one of the best feeling in the world for us wrestling, you know. And also, if people ask me what's my top 5 dream matches, so like Chris Shimmer know, this actually is one of my, he will be my definitely top 5 dream matches for San Z.
So this tree was giving me problems when I was at a wrestling convention when WrestleMania was in Tampa the last time at Raymond James Stadium. And while we were in the parking lot, I was out there talking with Eddie Torres and Bill Alfonso. My wife was present. And for some reason, this tree just kept touching me and kept messing with me to the point where I had to square up and I had to tell it, look, man, I don't know who you are. You must have been here for a while, but like I'm here just chilling. And I locked up with him for about 2 minutes, 3 minutes, man. And this tree just he wouldn't budge. So I had to take myself elsewhere. I have to say I took the L on that one.
I have studied. Who am I to say if I can study some people? But I've heard some of the Alex Jones conspiracy theories. He was the guy that gave me the idea of a great reset just in professional wrestling. And I was like, how does he talk? What about his audience? You know, how do they think? Why do they listen to him the way they do? Like it's kind of like it's almost religious to many of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And to be honest, I had to take a break from it because it fucked up my algorithm so bad that every time I went on any kind of social media, it was like flat Earth here, anti-vax there, UFOs, all kinds of stuff. So I had to take a break from it, and I began to like videos with dogs and cats, and now my algorithm is kind of back to normal.
All right, and And then on the 4th, we have Paige Rollo. On the 5th, Joe Bravo. On the 11th, we have Brian Leo. And on the 12th, Rain Victoria. I think we're done putting ourselves over. So it's time to get into the news. And it's a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with the news. And I think the biggest bit of news that came out this week is that SummerSlam in 2026 will take place in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and will be a 2-night event, much like WrestleMania is. I'm sure you heard of this news. What are your initial thoughts on this?
That is the ultimate my bad move. Does it sound like it, right? Is it me, or does that just seem like, you know what, my bad. We'll give you 2 nights just next summer. The summer after next. Because they don't pull that move unless, you knew they had it in the bag and Vegas just came out of nowhere. But I think most, and that's, it's kind of like a testament to the people in a sense, because people were really, really set on Minnesota, but a lot of people weren't really set on Minnesota. And
the main one
Vegas came in and swooped in because it's Vegas. I mean, TKO Vegas. It was too many dots to connect it for it not to be Vegas. Right? Like, can we agree on that part?
Yes, we could 100% agree on that. And it is. I feel like they had a chance of getting WrestleMania, and now there's no chance of them getting WrestleMania. And SummerSlam, a 2-night SummerSlam is just a constellation, like you said, for my bad. We're sorry that we didn't do this for you, but here's this instead.
Well, here's the thing, though. It's when you got people trying to come out, because April is usually, and especially in that week of April, it's spring break. And mofos are not trying to leave spring break to go to Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm just, nothing against Minnesota, but I think this just goes into a future play, because personally, I think Midwest cities are better for SummerSlams because it's hot, it's a summer, it's more likely to have more people go out there, right? It's easier to ask them to come to a city in the Midwest in the summer than it is in the winter, or even in the spring, because even Minneapolis, weather is any given time.
Right, things are still dying out.
Right, and the only way you could get them to come to a cold weather city is if it's a really big city, New York City, Philadelphia, Boston. You know what I'm saying? Those big metropolitan cities that are larger than life itself.
Exactly.
I think that
when you think
when
America, you think New York City, you think New York City, you think Philadelphia, you think Los Angeles. You don't necessarily think Indianapolis.
Or Cleveland, and to be quite honest, that's not a knock on them, right? Like that, I think I don't want people to think that that's a knock.
I think Cleveland is more synonymous than Indianapolis is because they had LeBron James for all that time.
But Cleveland is more synonymous with LeBron, but even then, that's only like basketball season. I mean, football season is starting to pick up because they made the playoffs and so on and so forth. But I think the formula is going to be, and this should be their formula, if they're going to do SummerSlams, do it in the Midwestern cities where they have those stadiums. So it's easier to push, a Cleveland, a Minneapolis, a Detroit. I mean, Detroit's indoors, but still a Detroit in the summer, Cleveland in the summer, even Chicago in the summer. Now, Chicago's going to be interesting once they build the stadium where it's because their stadium that they're building is going to be a dome stadium.
In
So
Chicago.
that might change it. They might change it a little bit, but Chicago's also one of those lexicons of cities in America where
Yeah.
people are willing to go to, right?
Yeah, they're not going
So
to have issues selling tickets in Chicago, WWE.
right. I mean, so I think that the SummerSlam formula of football stadiums in those middle cities, like I could see them doing SummerSlam in Kansas City next year. I could see them doing SummerSlam. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Saint. I don't think they have a football stadium anymore. But the Nashvilles, the Clevelands, the Indianapolises, the Minneapolises, those areas where it's summertime and people are more apt to be, I'll go there for a couple days in the summer.
Now, obviously, SummerSlam and Stadium started with Allegiant in 21 when, the pandemic was still raging. They kind of kept to that trend because, they were selling tickets. So, why not make that money? I felt like it was a natural, it was going to happen sooner rather than later that they were going to do a 2-night SummerSlam eventually. Do you think that this was just, like we said, we're sorry, Minnesota, here's 2 nights of SummerSlam rather than 1, and then go back to the traditional 1 night the next year? Or do you think that it's just going to stay as is after this?
Now, this is where it gets interesting because I remember they were doing surveys, and I think I did one, where they were like, well, did you prefer like 1 long night or 2 nights? And this was like years ago. And I would think more people are more apt to making a weekend out of it, right? Than trying to go there and spend 1 whole day there. And that actually is a win-win, not only for WWE, but for the city as well. Because you get more people there, and they're more apt to be there a lot earlier, which means they'll be there a lot longer. So it's a better economic impact than just 1 day, right? Like SummerSlam in Cleveland, they're probably going to feel that for, I say, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and maybe Sunday. Vice getting 2 nights, like in Indianapolis, that's going to be a Thursday to Monday.
Right.
That could possibly be a Thursday to Monday deal in which Raws could include it.
Right.
So it's a better deal for Minneapolis in the long run. So I mean, WWE was like, my bad, we had y'all pinned in, but Vegas, man, it's Vegas. And that's basically what it was.
The Rock didn't want to go there.
The Rock, you ain't lying, Rock. Rock's like, man, I'm used to Vegas, baby. Not no goddamn Minnesota. Nothing wrong, Minnesota. But, hey, you're going to spend a week somewhere. People rather be spending a week on a bender in Vegas against Easter.
On Easter. Yeah, on Easter.
Than to go to Minnesota. So, hey, yeah, part of the game.
Do you think that having a 2-night SummerSlam is maybe too much wrestling? Obviously WrestleMania is the mecca of all pro wrestling. It deserves 2 nights, considering how ridiculously long it was getting. But SummerSlam, it was in that good sweet spot of 3 hours, 3.5 hours in these last couple years. Do you feel like it could maybe be a little too much? And do you think that it maybe takes away from the speciality of WrestleMania being a 2-night event?
Now that's interesting. Well, Royal Rumble's 1 night. Some things are going to be 1 night by default. Royal Rumble's 1 night. Survivor Series 1 night. SummerSlam is not that bad because it's summer, so most people are going to be okay with, you know what I mean? It's not like they're going to go, oh my God. I could see it if it was like even WrestleMania, the reason it was done that way, because, most people bring their kids to WrestleMania and they're not trying to, I'd rather spend the weekend there and not having to deal with, and having them deal with one day of school and then that one long ass night on a Sunday and they're like feeling it for days. So I personally think SummerSlam, a 2-night, it wouldn't be too bad if it's broken up in like, let's say two-night increments. 2-night increments with 2 hours of pop. Would that really feel like, you're getting the short end of a stick?
I would say, and it's not going to be 2 hours each. It's going to be upwards of 3 hours, I would say.
That's what I was saying. Like, 2-3 hour nights, which, it's not that bad. And plus, it gets, think about it, 2026, they're already having to deal with the fact that they're on 2 different wavelengths as far as the brands are concerned.
Right.
Because SmackDown still is on USA, Raw is on Netflix, so they're 2 totally different. They could possibly be 2 different shows by then.
That's definitely a possibility. But you said, like, not a 2-night Royal Rumble. I could maybe see them doing a 2-night Royal Rumble at this point. Have a Raw Royal Rumble and a SmackDown Royal Rumble, and 1 Women's Royal Rumble, because they don't have enough women to fill 2 Royal Rumbles.
That's cold. Nah, I think they would stick with I think they would stick with the 1-night format, because it would, let's say a Raw person wins it and wants to go after the SmackDown title, it gives that,
like Cody.
That breakup, right?
Yeah.
So, and then the Elimination Chamber for the title that is not, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because that allows Elimination Chamber to actually mean something, with the exception, unless it's the person defending the title there, then that's a whole different story.
Right. Alright. Definitely a lot to see what happens when it comes to that. Obviously, it's in 2026, so we have some time before we talk all things SummerSlam that time around. As we speak, WWE King and Queen of the Ring is going on. And it was announced, one thing that we wasn't able to talk about because it wasn't announced, was that the winner of the King and Queen of the Ring will receive title matches at SummerSlam this year. Which definitely changes the dynamic of things somewhat, no, Kaliko?
That was usually the case in the 90s. So it's more of a return to what it was.
You're not wrong, but nobody who was the last person to get a title match after winning the Royal Rumble, the King of the Ring, was Brock Lesnar in 2002.
Right. But then again, it was defunct until, King Booker.
He got a title match. He wasn't granted a title match because of the...
Well, true, but I'm just saying, hey, he was a King of the Ring that used it to get the title.
This is true.
But I get your sentiment into which it inserts a person to get a title shot of his or her choosing. Once again, it's throwing the wild card into it, which it should. So that means because the thing is this: everybody wants all these stars to get title shots and be in the title picture, we have to bring reasons why they are in the title picture, besides the fact of beating the champion, right?
Right.
So you have what? Money in the Bank, Elimination Chamber, Royal Rumble, and King of the Ring. That's 4 different avenues to which a person who is on the rise could actually show that they belong, right?
Right.
And it's something to where, like, if they win, it's great. If they lose, okay, at least they showed what they got. And that's what we kind of need, is an influx of challengers to titles. So that way it seems more, what's the word I'm looking for?
Consistent?
It gives it that consistent and sporty feel, right? Like, what's the point of winning King of the... Somewhere Xavier Woods is pissed, but and Zelina Vega. But the thing is that at least, you know, I think it's going to be more heels getting those, because King and Queen and Ring to me seems more like a heel thing.
Right.
Someone who you can't stand getting that title shot. Like this year, my money was on Gunther from the beginning because it screams Gunther Cody at SummerSlam.
Yeah, continue.
But yeah, just something where it kind of hot shot someone like Gunther, who's got nothing really to prove, into the stratosphere, into the reason to get the title, rather than just saying, "Oh, he's there because he belongs there." It gives him the story credence to say that he's there.
Well, you know, you mentioned, you know, Gunther versus Cody. The one specific thing I noticed when Triple H announced that, you know, whoever wins gets a title match, it was on their respective brand, not, you know, you can jump and skip to the next brand. So if Gunther wins, you're looking at Gunther versus either Damian Priest or Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam, where as we saw on SmackDown, Randy Orton beat Tama Tonga. Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. That does kind of seem like a bigger draw, no?
That could be, but I don't think they're doing. It's just different brackets from the brand, and whoever wins, the King of the Ring wins it all overall, right? So eventually, it's either going to be Gunther versus Randy Orton, and then whoever wins that gets a title shot.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the question. What's going to sell more? But the thing is this: Randy is a face. See, and this is the problem, because it's unless they're just getting rid of the face, heel, and just going against or the face heel formula and just going with what stories draw people in the most, in which Randy versus Cody would be a better story arc, because it's mentor versus, you know, mentee.
Right.
And
you know, you say Randy Orton's a face, but was Randy Orton ever really a face? You know, in that sense.
I mean, he wasn't in a face that he was kissing babies or going high fives, but against Logan Paul, who isn't a face?
Exactly.
So that's my point. So if you... Okay. If they really wanted Orton to be a face, they would have had him cost Kevin Owens the U.S. title shot. The U.S. title. Like, without a triple threat.
Right.
I mean, that would be, because it would be something diabolical about that, or something that's like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean?
I get you.
So with that being said, The Randy Cody thing wouldn't really need a face heel because it's just about how much have you improved since you left, motherfucker?
Exactly.
Type deal. Like, and maybe Orton could. But the thing is this: we know Orton is closer to that record. So this is where it gets dicey. And Cody's the hot one. So it's just, and if they cared about, the face versus heel thing, Jey Uso would have beat Gunther.
Right.
And we see that hasn't worked. So it's going to be one of those things where that Punk is going to eventually get with McIntyre for a while. Gunther versus Priest could be something. I could see Gunther, Priest, and Giovanni costing Gunther the title.
Ooh, that might be something.
Because they haven't recalled that back yet. So, I mean, it's a lot of good avenues they could go with story-wise, which is what I think it's refreshing to see, like, there's this multiverse where we can go with, right? Like, it's almost kind of like WWE 2K My Universe. Like, you take the choice and it just takes you down that path. But it's good. It's good. It's a lot of options, and it's not really a bad option, right? It's not really like a worse of two evils.
I mean, you're not wrong. But I kind of feel like does Gunther kind of deserve it? Yeah. But in the long-term storytelling, obviously Cody and Randy would be the better, main event for SummerSlam this year.
Yes, yet Priest needs an opponent. So I could see, I mean, technically I could see if Gunther wins, let's just say if Gunther wins, and he's unsuccessful because of whatever the case may be, I could see a 5-way Gunther, Priest, Punk, Drew, or 4-way rather, or even put Jay in there. So I could easily see a 5-way that way, but I don't think they're gonna go that route because and essentially, other than Jay, and Gunther, the 3-basket weave is Drew, Priest, Punk. So it's just a matter of, okay, if Gunther is unsuccessful in this, what is he going for afterwards? Not saying that he's not going to get back in the title picture, but there would be a reason he didn't win, and he has to deal with that before he gets to the title, right?
Right.
So, but and that I think would be your boy coming back, costing him the title.
Right. Giovanni, you mean?
Giovanni.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, there's a lot of different routes they could take in order to get this done. I don't see a Gunther Priest McIntyre rivalry all that interesting, considering that all three of them are heels. And, Priest being, a heel champion, yeah, you need some dragons to slay. But you need faces also. And I mean, you already slayed Jey Uso in France. Seth Rollins is still
on the shelf.
On the shelf, and Punk is a couple of months away from coming back.
Right. So the question is, there's not really. I mean, there's not a face that is bigger than Jay that that to where you can put him against Priest and you have the think that he actually has a 50% chance of winning.
Right.
So the only logic is either, I mean, but McIntyre's not really a face or a heel. He's just a guy who's like, I can understand his. I don't think he's a face or a heel. I just see him as a dude that's like that Seth Rollins tweener, except he's a lot more serious.
Right.
So he's the person that would make the most sense in getting with Priest, considering the fact that he lost the title, never really got the rematch.
Oh, but he's getting it in June against
In June,
in
yeah.
Scotland. There's no way
In
he's
Scotland,
not.
right? But so I think that would, and that's the question: are they going to pull it off of him in Glasgow? You can't send him back to Scotland twice and lose twice.
Well, the last one was in Wales, not technically Scotland, but
But you know what the hell I mean? He's basically on home turf, sir. You sent him on home turf the last time. Had him with Tyson Fury, who got his ass whooped this weekend. So there's no Tyson Fury help this time. So you gotta, I mean, that's the question. Is it gonna be really worth it for Drew to win? Because Drew Punk at SummerSlam as one of the main eventers is a bigger draw than Priest versus anybody else.
my point exactly.
But I don't think that they're gonna pull it off of Priest that soon. I think, to me, the common sense match to do then is a triple threat. Punk, or either triple threat or fatal four-way. So it's either going to be Punk, Priest, and McIntyre triple threat, or Jay, Punk, Drew, Priest. Because those are the four only really, like, major players that's been in the title picture.
Right. Well,
Because even though Punk hasn't had a title shot, you know it's coming.
oh yeah. We'll kind of continue this conversation next week when we review WWE King and Queen of the Ring. Maybe we'll get a clearer picture then.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting. I can't wait.
That for sure. Interesting bit of news. MVP Montel Vontavious Porter posted he's getting back into ring shape. He said that he's not officially retired and would like to have a couple more matches before he does. What are your thoughts on MVP having maybe one last run in him?
All I know is I'm gonna miss that cane that he's gonna be. They used to walk down the ring with. That's for sure. Miss the Pippin ass cane.
Of the cane. He'll hobble down, and then when he gets in the ring,
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that means you gotta get rid of the cane. But I mean, if he can do it, I mean, Ric Flair did it. He's looking at Ric Flair like, motherfucker, if he can do it, I can do it. So blame Ric Flair. And I love Terry Funk, but them folks just didn't know when to leave. Like Sean is telling everybody, I'm leaving, nigga, leave. Exit stage left. And everybody else has been like, yeah, I'm retired. Nah, I'm just bullshit. Like, so, I mean, if he could do it, hey, I look forward to it. It would be nice to see who he would wrestle. I mean, Omos?
Oh God, no. You know, he had a great thing going with Bobby Lashley in the Hurt Business, arguably one of the better runs, and especially during the pandemic that only lasted, a couple of months.
Oh, that hurt every African American on this planet. Because that should have been a way longer run, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day.
Yeah. But, if you're going to, go out, I mean, Bobby Lashley would make sense, right?
True, but it would have to be, it had to be one hell of a circle back for that to happen. Because now Bobby Lashley is running the Pride. And, I mean, I wish it was just Hurt Business. Because at least they could have argued over who ran the Hurt Business.
Right.
Like I made this shit, give me my name back or whatever. At least they could have something to fight for, right? Or a reason to fight for something.
I mean, you don't. The story's kind of there. Like, I carried you. The only reason you were champion was because of me. Yada yada.
That could be the case.
I mean, the real match that we want to see MVP in that we're not going to get is Chris Jericho. But that's another story for another time, I suppose.
That ain't happening. Or Matt Hardy, because he's had those best of 7.
Oh, God.
Gee. They used to have bangers, though. Hey, say what you will. They were killing them in them serious matches.
No, I'm referring to that time MVP knocked Chris Jericho out on the cruise ship.
Oh, that ain't that would have to be a cage fight, sir. That is not a ring. That is in a cage. And that's one of those things we call in the hood a SOS, a serve on site. That is on site fight. That is not. He don't need to be in ring shape for that type of fight to go down.
And I highly doubt Chris Jericho would be open to said fight either. Keeping his face or keeping what relevancy he has.
You gotta keep the beach cruise popping. That's what it is. You gotta keep his cruise popping.
Another potential return. Billie Kay did an interview of the Iconics. They've been retired for quite some time now. She revealed that she turned down an appearance at the Royal Rumble, but is looking to kind of get back into things and would love to be in this year's Royal Rumble. Out of the two Iconics, I always thought Billie was the better, especially when it came to character work. And the idea, the thought of a Billie Kay Chelsea Green tag team would be off the charts awesome in my mind. Kaliko?
Nah, you gotta bring them both back, bro. And then they could go with Chelsea and Piper and make like a little faction. I think that's what they were missing. They don't have the bougie faction for girls, right? Like they got the bougie chick, which is Tiffy guys, but which it's a catch. I can't even. It's Tiffy guys, but yeah. They just need like a little bougie clique. The bougie clique. And she would fit with Chelsea in the bougie clique. The bougie Bratty clique. BBC. I just WWE trademark it. Trademark it. The Bratty bougie clique. That
The Bratty.
I want my money.
Eat your heart.
Or BAB, bad and bougie. Give me my money. Run my money.
eat your heart out, Blackpool Combat Club.
I mean, it beats that by spades, sir.
It definitely will be more entertaining and more storyline fluid, I would say.
Yeah, true.
The only thing I say, you can't, don't bring. I would love to see Peyton as well, but I think she's retired. I think she's on her second child with Ty Dillinger, so I think she wants to stay, back from the ring for the time being. But Billy,
But Kay just had a kid.
huh?
She had a kid.
Billy had a kid?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was Peyton that had the kid.
Both.
Oh, both of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It threw me off too. Bro, bro, it shocked the shit out of me too. I was like, what?
They have more symmetry than the Bullet Twins at this point.
Like, yeah, she's a mom now, if I remember correctly.
Well, I mean, good for her, and if she wants to get back in the ring, that'd be great. If it's with Peyton, that'd be even better. But if it's not, again, I think the WWE could use somebody like Billie Kay.
Yeah, had a son, Cooper. Sorry, put the name out there and everything, my bad. But had a son, yeah, last year. That's what I was like. That made sense why she didn't do the Royal Rumble. Because she was more mom mode. Yeah, that makes sense.
So like I said, if it's not with Peyton, like I said, you want somebody like Billie Kay on your team. She's a chicken salad maker. So, yeah.
Yeah, she is. I mean, character-wise, yes. She can put people over.
They drew her with a resume gimmick, and she made that thing work like nobody else could.
Yes, she did. She was out there popping for a job harder than I could ever do.
Now on to not so great news. Eddie Kingston, really bad.
Broke his leg. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Let's just go.
Meniscus, ACL, the whole shebang, basically. They said that for whatever reason he can't get surgery right away, and he's going to be out as long as May of next year. That really sucks for him, no?
It sucks because he was just getting his ball was already rolling, right? Like, right. So it sucks.
He was one of the genuine characters that AEW had, that people really connected to and identified with, and actually bought a ticket to see.
Because he really didn't give a shit. That's
and it's so.
He could, and it showed. Yeah, it did. I mean, I'm not saying that he didn't give a shit about the fans. He just wrestled as if it was the last match of his life.
Right.
And it showed. It showed. I mean, him and Moxley could take notes on how, getting fucked up. But yeah. But hopefully he gets well soon. I mean, hopefully he gets that surgery quicker. I would have thought as much as he was rolling, he would have had more dough to get it soon, especially to Birmingham. He better go to B-Ham real quick.
If you're in WWE, you get done immediately. But, AEW, not exactly, scheduling surgeries.
Hey, so you telling me WWE got, this Canada healthcare shit going now? Is that what you trying to tell me?
Well, did you not hear the CM Punk interview with Ariel Helwani?
I mean, it coming from CM Punk is one thing, given the history, right?
I mean, your biggest star in your company gets injured, and you don't schedule his surgery, and you don't have anything to do with the rehab or how's his progress.
I mean, it's Punk, and we know that history.
He was the biggest star of their company. Do you think that they're going to put extra effort into trying to help Eddie Kingston?
I mean, yeah.
Bullshit.
I mean, Kenny Omega got it. Why not him?
I highly doubt Kenny Omega got help from AEW when it came to scheduling his surgery that he's going for.
I bet you he put that as a business expense.
He might have.
Thank you. So he's the EVP. Don't play.
Not a
You
very
put
good
it.
EVP as he stated, but an EVP nonetheless.
Hey man, it ain't about how much you know. It's about how much your paycheck hit.
That we could agree. That being said, AEW is kind of short on talent if we're being completely honest here. Especially when it comes to developing new talent and, their own people. I mean, Darby just came back, but even he admitted that he's not feeling too great right now. Sammy Guevara has been suspended for 3-4 months at this point.
It feels like indefinite. They put the indefinite and indefinitely. That's for sure.
MJF is nowhere to be heard, but then again, he just had shoulder surgery, if I'm not mistaken.
Did he?
That's what I heard. If you believe rumored innuendos.
Okay.
Ricky Stark, completely healthy, completely fine. They're not using
Just
him.
not used.
Action Andretti had that one match with Chris Jericho, and we haven't heard from him since. It's just been WWE talent as of late. The Edges, the Christians, the Monets.
The Monets, the Moxleys, the Danielsons.
And,
All the
Brian said that, he's not going to be there forever. This is like his last full year of wrestling. So, he's going to be out sooner rather than later. Guys are getting injured left and right. There's no homegrown talent for them to really write home about. And nobody to say, this is who we're hitching our wagon to, and they're going to be a megastar in 6 to 9 months.
No, you're wrong. You remember Hook? He was a flavor of the month. I say that with tongue in cheek. Nothing against Hook, but that's just shows that this was the problem. This was the problem when they brought those guys in. I mean, when they first brought them in to mentor them, it was great, but that's what it should have just been. I think the only person that understood that assignment was Sting, but and he fucked around and got an undefeated run out the bitch.
Billy Gunn did pretty well with the Acclaimed, even though we haven't seen the Acclaimed for quite some time.
I'll give you that. I mean, yes, they say lost the goddamn titles.
Right. Why aren't they using Ricky Starks? He's healthy. He's ready to go. He had a decent one with Big Bill, and now Big Bill is under the learning tree, so he can't go back to that. Why don't they want to promote Ricky Starks?
It could be a contract thing.
He said no.
Well, that I can't tell you then, but it's weird because remember when AEW Hardcore Stance was yelling, "We got the 4 pillars."
Yeah.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Them 4 pillars look like 4 step stools now. Some of it through no fault of their own. I mean, some of it, like Darby, just, I don't know, Darby being Darby. And then,
Yeah.
and then Sammy being Sammy. And MJF, yeah, God knows, he's gotten used to the power, but MJF, they wore his ass to the ground.
I was gonna
And
say
then
they burnt that candle from both ends.
they burned the hell out that shit. And then Jungle Boy, goddamn. So they like shit. So I mean, it just kind of. This is where that blend. I will put it this way: who has a better future in the wrestling business if you looked at it from this standpoint, Dominic Mysterio or any of those pillars?
Right.
And that's all that you need to know. Because as much as Dominic just got hurt, but he was putting in work. And you saw him merge with other talents to learn and gain. Darby did it with Sting, but his was just his foot got broken, unfortunately. MJF was kind of doing it, maybe he had a Regal, and then he did Cody, and then he had a Jericho, so he was all over the place, and it didn't kind of pan out. And we all saw what happened with Jungle Boy, and then and Sammy was the same with Jericho, and it kind of panned out. I don't know if it's an attitude thing with him. I don't know, but it just goes to show like they're kind of depending on these old vets to pull them through until they find the next guy. And I mean, Wardlow, anyone?
When's the last time
I
we
can
heard of
name.
Wardlow?
That's my point. So the point is not a lack of talent. I think the point is the emphasis is a lack of rotational use of that time. Because in the beginning, they used to do it pretty well. Because you remember they had the AEW After Dark, and they could actually, you know what I mean, show them up and coming, and you could.
AEW Dark, not After Dark. It wasn't. There was nothing risque or not safe for work on it.
I mean, sorry, BET Uncut got into me right there. But anyways. But they had a platform to, get them to earn their stripes to when they got to the show, right? So they could build that rapport, kind of like an NXT. And I think that could be an issue because it's like the younger guys are kind of doing more on-the-job training than I don't know, like a Carmelo Hayes, or they're doing more on-the-job training than
But they're not doing on-the-job training. Ricky Starks did an interview. I can't necessarily remember who with, but in your guesstimation, how many matches do you think Ricky Starks had in 2024? We're
10.
We're 5 months into the year.
Oh, you mean how many matches have he had this year?
Yes, in 2024, in the 5 months. How many times?
Is this just AEW? Is this AEW specific or
in
indies?
total? Every match from every independent, every AEW show, every independent show, everything.
I'd say 20 matches.
6 matches.
Damn.
He had 5 matches on AEW, and he had one match at an independent promotion that was ran by Cody Rhodes' sister, to kind of get things going for her. Um, that's that's one match a month. Independent wrestlers do more matches than one match a month. And I'm not saying that Ricky hasn't taken his bumps, and he's well beyond being under the learning tree at this point. But a lot of those independent guys that they have, especially Wardlow, who wasn't really on the independents that much when before coming to AEW, didn't have a lot of experience. Having six matches in 6 months, you're not going to learn how to be the wrestler you need to be by only having one match a month.
True.
So, how, and it's not for the lack of AEW shows that they have. You have Dynamite, Rampage, Collision, and Ring of Honor. And God knows that Athena has been running the gauntlet on Ring of Honor. Nobody's seeing it, but she's doing it. So, and if you have 4 shows and you can't fit your talent on one of them, you have a major problem, no?
True, but that's I see that in Tony Khan's sense because of the fact that you signed all these cats. You signed all these people, right?
Yeah.
You want your money's worth. You gonna want your goddamn money's worth. And that's the problem, right? Like if you're gonna have all these people, all these wrestlers, like Mercedes Moné, you signed her in what? January? February?
No, the Okada came in around that time. Was a lot newer.
That's what I'm saying. Like all these people that he's signing, I'm pretty sure they're not signing little ass checks. So he's gonna want to get their money's worth.
But we could both agree Mercedes isn't going to stay in AEW forever. So, you have to promote Julia Hart. You have to promote Anna Jay. You have to promote Sky Blue. You have to promote the next round of people. So when those people come back, when those people leave, you're not out in the cold with a light sweater. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is what happened in the end of WCW. Hulk Hogan left, Kevin Nash left, Razor Ramon left, and yeah, they had Booker T, and Booker T literally carried that son of a bitch on his back. But nobody really took the run seriously because he didn't have anybody of a big name to wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not no slack to Booker T. But the only reason he got that opportunity was because there was nobody else available. Am I telling lies, Kaliko?
No, but I mean, but the thing is, it's just like he's gonna have to run it. he's going to have people who can actually run a wrestling show or run it to where every talent is kind of important, right? But when you bring in influx of people in which a Jay White, when you're bringing in the Jay Whites, the Edges, the Monets, the returning Jack Perry, the fucking Okadas, he's wanting to utilize them so quick. So it's like a flavor of the month thing. That's why I say is AEW. Who is AEW's flavor of the month? Because remember, at one point it was Private Party. At one point it was Darby Allin. At one point it was Sammy. At one point it was Hook. At one point, you know what I'm saying? So it's not. At one point it was Miro. At one point it was Athena. At one point it was. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I could name 20 people in that 5-year span in which it was a flavor of the month rather than I think the only person that actually got booked long term was Hangman Page. Because even Swerve, as much as I love Swerve, it took the crowd to get him to that, right?
Right.
It wouldn't have been nothing else if it wasn't for the crowd.
Right.
So the question is, who is dictating their rotation as far as TV time? Is it Tony or is it the crowd? Now the crowd has a play in it, but considering that he wants it to feel more like a sport, you would think you would want to maximize as much as your talent as possible to show that like any given person could get beaten on any given day, thus the sporty feel.
You know, I don't think, Tony is clearly, spreading himself thin if he is producing 4 shows. It wouldn't be bad if he let somebody put their fingerprints on one of those other shows. Not even to say, somebody that is competent at their job, but just somebody that can maybe take these guys and give them TV time once a week on there's 6 hours of AEW TV, and you can't fit Ricky Starks on. Or give him 5 minutes on one of them? That makes no sense to me.
But I think again, that's another. It's also a locker room thing too, because remember the locker room has been notorious for not listening to nobody.
Right.
So if any person they're going to listen to, they're going to listen to the person who's signing their check.
Rachel? Well, I mean, we could be here all day talking about this, if I'm being honest.
We really could.
So we should probably get off it for the time being, and conclude our coverage of the news for the time being. And now a quick word from our sponsors. So,
Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low-calorie, no-sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar-filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0-calorie energy milkshake? First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off-brands out there that are presenting low-quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high-quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched, specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. Great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue Energy, more focus, more wins.
Use promo code WRESTLINGWITHE for 10% off your next purchase. And we are wrestling with AEW Double or Nothing. It is tomorrow, I believe, and it takes place in Paradise, Nevada, at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. And in AEW fashion, it's an AEW event to say the least. I'm sure you've seen the card. What are your thoughts of it as a whole?
I mean, I don't know what to think as far as what is Double or Nothing. Because at least Double or Nothing used to be there. I mean, it used to be the WrestleMania, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Kinda, yeah. No, I would say more
I
the SummerSlam.
Really? I mean, the first show that they had was the first pay-per-view was Double or Nothing.
Yeah, but they kind of established that All Out was the WrestleMania, and Double or Nothing was maybe like the SummerSlam.
Well, if it was, it would have been better to have Swerve win the title at Double or Nothing if it's their SummerSlam.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
With that being said, this card, although it is good, it is also seemingly predictable.
That's interesting. Well,
I would think so, right?
Well, I mean, we'll get into that, but last time we did an AEW review, I was critically hard on it, and the event wasn't necessarily as bad as I thought it was going to be. So I'm going to try and be a little bit more optimistic. It's never been my strong suit before, but hey. First matchup, we have the singles match for the Intercontinental Championship. We have Roderick Neckstrong versus Will Ospreay. Who wins, Kaliko?
They're in a conundrum with this one. Because if Ospreay loses, I mean, if Ospreay loses, they lose the hottest guy that they got, right? Not necessarily lose, but it's like it takes the luster off of him for sure.
Yeah.
And if he wins, that just means Swerve ain't happening anytime soon.
Which I don't think anybody wants it to happen.
So, but when you look at all they got, it seems like that's the only common sense thing left.
They give Ospreay the championship? The AEW championship?
No, that's the only seemingly legit challenger. Do you really believe in Christian as a challenger for the title?
No.
So that's my point. Like, who is the person that you could go, oh my God, I want to see them fight because I truly think that something could happen and he could actually beat him.
Right.
And honestly, to AEW's detriment, there's only one person that looks like that could be.
And it's Ospreay. Big joke.
Yes.
So Bismarck.
So I mean, so either you're telling me that Ospreay ain't ready yet by winning the title, or Roderick's way better than what I think he is. So who do I think wins? I mean, common sense would tell you Ospreay.
Correct. But when has common sense ever helped an AEW event?
They have their moments. Now, albeit not great moments, but they've had their So I'm gonna have to go with Ospreay because Ospreay's. I mean, granted, he and that's the killer part because what's his face just got the goddamn title.
Yeah, last month.
Right. So I mean, you're gonna either take it off of him. This is what I'm talking about. They booked themselves in a conundrum.
That they did. I'll say, if Roderick wins, it's gonna be by interference of Adam Cole, and then maybe we start an Adam Cole Will Ospreay rivalry. In reality, Will Ospreay will win this match, and then Adam Cole will come out and attack Will Ospreay, starting the Will Ospreay Adam Cole rivalry.
But why would they do that at the expense of Roderick Strong?
Because fuck Roderick Strong.
And well, it can't be fuck Roderick Strong because you gave him the title.
Well, that was last
Can't
month.
go, yeah, So he was the flavor of the month last month, and now it's Will Ospreay.
Yes, you got Gouda last month. Now you get Blue.
I mean, somewhere Takashita got to be like, thank God I left this shit.
Takashita.
Yeah,
Who's Takashita?
the guy that's fighting, that is going to fight John Moxley for the New Japan Heavyweight title.
Koketsuka. Taketsuka.
Is it? No. Konosuke Takashita. That's what I'm talking about.
Taketsuka.
Konosuke Takeshika. I mean, knowing you, I thought you would have said take a shitter, but you know.
We didn't get to the match yet. When we get to the match, that's when the butchering of the names will happen.
Fine. Deal, sir.
So, Will Ospreay?
Yeah, because that's the only way I see it going.
Alright, next match, AEW Women's World Championship match. We have, Timeless Tony Storm with a pussy scented candle. Lex Luthor and Mariah Carey versus Selena.
Next. You know good damn well who's winning this match. Next.
We got a barbed wire steel cage match for the AEW TNT Championship. We have the edging Adam Copeland versus Malachi Black.
Malachi. Jesus
Malachi.
Christ. This one's interesting. Because Didn't what's his face take his ring or something like that?
I could not tell you.
Oh well, there was a scene in which Malaki, as you call him,
Malarkey.
took Edge's wedding band, which leads me to believe Edge is winning this goddamn match. So there you go, Edge.
Okay. It's for the W. I would. Common sense would tell me Malachi, the TNT Championship run he should have had 5 years ago, today. But, then you realize Tony Khan is, booking the show, and he wants, people to edge with him. So, Adam Copeland. Alright, now we have an IWGP World Heavyweight Championship Eliminator match. John Moxley versus Kolkatska Takeshita. Who wins, Kalika?
My mind would tell me take a shitter. And the reason I say that is because Moxley got the belt. It makes I believe this is take a shitter's best chance to win a title, point blank, period. And if there were ever a title changing hands, it would be this one.
Well,
so take a shitter for the win.
Well, I say Moxley is gonna take a shit all over Kolkatska because there's no way in hell he's losing this match.
Well, I mean,
it's not for the championship. It's only if he beats John Moxley, then he gets a championship shot.
Then why that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Why have a title eliminator on a pay-per-view?
Because they wanted Moxley on the card, and New Japan said you can't give a title match to just any jabroni.
That makes no sense. Whatever.
Alright. We have a special singles match. You know, all the mega stars that we spoke about on this card already. We have freshly pooped Orange Cassidy versus Trent.
Okay.
Yep. That is a match on this card.
Okay.
Do you want to say who you think's going to win the match?
I am. Okay.
So no opinion whatsoever.
No, none whatsoever. This whole best friends thing is just, yeah. Okay.
Well,
that's how I look at it. I just go, okay. To be quite honest, that's all that's it. I think that's the only opinion that's needed. Okay.
Well,
because I think okay would be a proper response for a nonchalant Orange Cassidy match.
Well, I feel like this kind of should have been on the pre-show or maybe even Collision the night before, rather than an actual pay-per-view match.
Pay-per-view match.
People paying $50 for this.
Oh no, Betix was giving away free tickets for this.
Well, I mean,
I
that's.
just couldn't get them.
I heard that they were giving free tickets away on the street. So, maybe you could still get down there.
Gives new meaning to Ticket Day Parade.
Correct you are, Scooter. And we are being joined by the American Scooter Dust.
Oh, man. I rushed home to be here. Don't worry. Nobody was injured much. Oh, man. Oh, God. It's been one of those weeks. And, I know that we're pretending it's already tomorrow today, but maybe it's yesterday. So think about that. And I was with I was enjoying the love of a woman who loves wrestling just as much as I do, but I'm sorry, is quite a little idiot when it comes to it. So I love having to explain to her. And we would have had plans to watch some that thing in Saudi Arabia that they're doing, from the comfort of a hospital bed. But the doctors out on Long Island, they suck. All right, I'm done. I'm here. Get used to it.
And the reason you came back, the reason you're here tonight, Scooter, Orange Cassidy versus Trent Beretta. Who wins?
Oh my God! See.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, you want that's the thing, is that, God, I have an Uber driver story to tell. Where
don't tell
I
me
got
Orange
to
Cassidy was your Uber driver.
No, he might have been. Actually, you know what? For all I know, it could have been Chuck. Maybe it could have been. Honestly, it could have been any of them. He did look like somebody from the AEW bullpen waiting to never get called up.
We were just talking.
You missed that segment, buddy.
Well, you know what?
Hey, we can call it back. Call it.
I was there in spirit. Yeah, and I, so few times where I get to be like, yes, I was this person in wrestling. You don't need to look up who I am, because I'm telling you everything, and everything you're believing everything that comes out of my mouth. And of course, I had to mention the fact that I came from the same place Trent Beretta did. Or maybe did Trent Beretta come from the same place I did? Think about it. No, that's not the case at all. The fact, I think the real winner is, does anybody care? And as much as I love Trent as a human being, as much as I love Greg, yeah, I'm breaking kayfabe for him. God, even a heel turn couldn't save you, buddy.
Let's get you up to speed, Scooter. Roderick Strong versus Will Ospreay. Who wins?
Is AEW doing another pay-per-view? What the hell happened?
Yeah, it's tomorrow, Scooter. Double or Nothing.
Oh God. Yeah. I choose nothing.
I'll take the nothing for 20.
What a way to job out your top, the man you built to carry the company on his back for the next couple of years by jobbing him out to a man that should not have the company's secondary title to begin with. And, as much as we love Roderick Strong, it's he got himself into a very weird position when he was, turned heel and joined up with Adam Cole while working for WWE. And that just, became the natural transition of things. There's no more like, oh, wait a minute, they're here. How do they know each other? Do we even want to try and figure it out first? No time for that. Yeah, God bless Scott Hall. I see tangents, and that, in fact, that's the name of the next AEW pay-per-view. I swear to God, I have not had many drugs tonight. The smart money is on Roderick Strong, but Tony Khan really is. He really is the fanboy, and it's now just Will Ospreay instead of CM Punk. Ospreay wins.
This is what I was saying. Alright, you're choosing Tony Storm over Serena Deeb. We already decided that.
Clearly.
Adam.
Clearly, darling. Couldn't hold a pussy scented candle to what she does.
Adam Copeland and Milwaukee Black.
This would have been great if it was in another company. This is just going to be another unnecessary bloodbath where we're wondering, is it time for Cope to cope? And how much Cope could cope with if Cope could cope with coping? I mean, considering how much Rhea Ripley's ass is getting love on Twitter, I mean, Buddy Matthews is getting love on Twitter. Clearly, Matthews is going to come back. He has to at this point, and that means Malachi does too. And here's the thing: the last person Malachi legit kind of put out of the company, who was it? It was Cody.
This is correct.
So, how great would it be if Cope just decided to send the whole, House of Block, minus Birdie King, since Birdie King won't, they won't let go of him.
And he's not married to anybody in WWE.
Yeah, and we'll end up seeing Trevor Lee show up and join the House of Black, clearly. But yeah, Cope to win.
And Mark Sicilian is beating Take Shitter, right?
Why the hell is this even on a pay-per-view?
Yes, this is
Moxley, Konosuke. Really? Like, I get trying to push the unknown foreign talent, but there's a reason why we started calling him Take Shitter. The guy's got no charisma, and this is being serious. He's okay in the ring. And please feel free to argue if I am in fact wrong here. But they tried making Konosuke their Shinsuke Nakamura, and they failed spectacularly.
You're probably right about that.
Now, if this was Shibata, I might find it more interesting.
Yeah, that you might be right about that.
Hell, push Shibata. Shibata is interesting with that friggin' bet. Hell, you know what? Shibata, Ospreay, a bet-off match. Bruv. Either way, Mox, clearly.
Yeah. Alright, now you're caught up. That brings us a three-way for the Fuck the World rules match for the Fuck the World Championship. That was a tongue twister. We have MDA is Jericho with Small Bill. He's taking on Fist Hook and ciabatta bread. Kaliko. Kaliko still there? Did we lose Kaliko?
I came all this way.
Wait a minute. No way.
Respawn.
Hell no. Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
There we go. I was correcting you and you said small Bill. It's Lil Bill, like the Cosby Show.
Okay.
Like the Cosby cartoon. Lil Bill.
Little Bill.
Lil Bill.
Just an ordinary Bill.
This seems like it's going to be a thing to say fuck the fans, but that's just me.
That's what Jericho's thinking right now, considering they're chanting "Please retire" to him.
Yep, and they are just being a hole in his quote-unquote vortex. So, yeah, he's going to keep winning just to spite them.
My first thoughts on this is, you had somewhat of a semi-decent storyline going on with Hook. You know, I knew Jericho was doing what he did last month to, to feed his ego, but I was giving him the
Really?
Yeah.
You don't say.
Yeah.
You don't say.
But I was going to kind of give
He
them.
didn't say.
I was gonna give them somewhat of a benefit of a doubt to say, if it's double or nothing, Hook versus Jericho, Hook gets his comeuppance against Jericho. Put things right. We did get that, but why the fuck is Shibata in this match?
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I will absolutely tell you why. Because Taz and Hook versus Jericho and Big Bill. That's why. Taz, they're planning on getting the father-son pop. Where Taz finally decides he's had enough, and even at his literal own expense of, everyone's known that, Taz has been told, don't try being an active wrestler again in any capacity.
Right. Correct.
So that's what we're going to get. Clearly, that's what AEW is trying to do now. They shattered that that image, that mirror of kayfabe with Kenny. A week or so back, or like, oh wait, oh god, they're attacking him, and they shouldn't be, like, which means Kenny is okay, and it's, great, we got worked, awesome, tell that to the people who thought Kenny might actually have died. Shibata here is to literally kind of take the title away from this focus here. It's either that or whatever, or it's going to be some sort of 6-man tag with Hook, Shibata, and Taz against Jericho, Big Bill, and someone else. Ain't going to be Sammy, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you who it might be, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
At this point, I expect Enzo.
Enzo Amore?
Oh yeah, I expect that at this time. Imagine the heat magnet you get.
If Enzo pops in that bitch,
God.
It's like,
oh god, and imagine if Enzo does it to be on the same team as Jericho. That's, oh my god. I hate, Jericho's a fucking asshole and a fucking prick, and I hate the fact that blah blah blah. You know what I was gonna say there.
Jericho just no, man. Clearly it's either that or it's gonna be Trevor Lee. Like, I want to learn from you, Mr. Jericho. And
Yeah,
brother Love apparently was here. We're going to the moon. That's the new party game. Is it Cameron Grimes or Brother Love? The answer may surprise you.
So, I think.
Shibata to win.
Oh, wow, you're going Sabata. No, I think the only reason Sabata is in this match, and this is my only thought about it, is to take the L from Jericho. Jericho pins Sabata. You protect Hook by not dropping him out 2 months in a row.
Balls.
And yeah, and Jericho continues his reign of
Tree?
reign of tree. I was gonna say being in his own mind or something of that nature. I can't think of the word, but yeah.
You know what? That's about as likely as Minneapolis getting a SummerSlam. Oh, never mind.
Kaliko, Jericho, Sabata, or Hook?
I told you Jericho getting the win to say fuck you to the fans.
Yeah. Alright. Then we have a trios match for the Unified World Trios Championship.
God, that hurts my
It's
hand.
gonna be a game of Uno, and the first one to get to trio wins. No.
Oh, I mean there is Dos. That is the sequel to Uno.
We have the Bang Bang Hub, Jay White, and the Ass Boys versus the Bastard Pook, Ray Phoenix, and Pentecost Jr. With Alex Abrahantes.
Alex Abrahantes. That was actually probably as accurate as you. I know you tried to mispronounce it, but you actually kind of did it right, too.
You probably got it correct.
Alex Abrahantes. Well, at least he's not, Jose the Impact assistant.
This is correct. Alright, Scooter, who wins? The Bang Bang Hub or the Triangle of Death?
No matter who wins, we lose. Needs more Danhausen.
What
Hey, remember him?
Yeah, what the hell is he?
Remember
Jesus
Danhausen?
Christ, don't even, yeah.
Oh, man. Pepperidge Farm remembers. I remember Danhausen. This match being interesting is as likely as Beetlejuice getting a sequel. Oh, shit. Never mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thought it. I like this.
Yeah. Since I saw the trailer, I had to kind of work that in here.
Oh yeah.
Neither trio needs trios titles. This promotion doesn't need trio titles. Fuck this trio title. Fuck the promotion. Fuck those titles. Let them all go to hell except for Alex Abrahantes, Lincoln, Mercury Sable.
Kia Forte. So you're going with fuck them all?
I'm hoping that the Bang Bang Gang lose by referee stoppage when they actually get their heads stuck up their own asses. Why not?
It's kind of hilarious that they're called the Bang. It's the Bang Bang Gang, and they're the Ass Boys. If this doesn't have, innuendo after innuendo.
Hello, aren't they doing the logo that looks like Pornhub's logo?
Are they?
So somebody is in AEW. I know that.
I know Jay White has a logo that looks like the OnlyFans logo.
Well, you know what? When this is done, he'll have only a fan left, and it's gonna be the one that goes. Jay White, man, how the mighty have fallen. He has really fought his way to the middle.
I would say to the bottom, if I'm being honest.
I mean, when you're put with Billy Gunn's kids, and Billy Gunn doesn't even want his own kids. Let's remember that.
Yeah.
Billy Gunn had him. He didn't even want him. That would have been the perfect time to go get Uncle Bart, but no. He's too busy doing Dark Side of the Ring. Either way, again, I literally hope somebody throws a Molotov cocktail into the ring during this match.
All right,
I'm an awful person. I know. I don't care.
Kaliko, are you less of a terrible person than Scooter? Who wins the match?
Bang Bang?
Kaliko will always be the better person. I will always admit that.
I think we could all admit that if we're being honest.
Oh, I don't know. I'm about as petty as Kendrick Lamar. But anyways,
well, an invisible car is no place for Kendrick Lamar, so let him out of it, please, or tell him you lost the invisible keys. Damn.
Look at that bars. Anyways, let's go with Bang Bang Niner Gang. I mean Bang Bang Gang Bang Bang Gang Bang Gang.
Go Rangers.
I don't.
Go Rangers.
Go Rangers. I just had to say that. Again, a lot of shit I had to say on the ride here to my home. I've been next to a hospital bed for days. I was so used to being the patient that I'm just not patient anymore.
I like that bar.
Oh, I miss cocaine. Well, I mean, I actually have more to that bar, and it's actually, it's because it's actually kind of like the Taylor Swift's Bad Blood. Remember when you bought the stupid whip? And I advise you not to purchase it because it don't matter if it's see-through because they can still see you. Take it back to the invisible dealership and ask for a redo. It just looks like we are floating in the sitting position, and the check engine light is on. Check the invisible transmission. Because an invisible car is the place for Kendrick Lamar. Now let me out of it, please. Don't tell me you lost the invisible keys. Damn. Of course, that's not my bar whatsoever. That's Key of Awesome.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift parody. Yep. Bad song, as they call it.
If spontaneous combustion is not a choice here, then I'm going with the Bang Bangles. That brings us to the match to the match everybody wants to see. The match that Tony Khan blew his load on. That is the AEW That Bitch Show Championship. We got Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Marnette. Who wins, Kaliko?
Ooh.
And you can't say Willow.
It has to be Monet. What?
And you can't say Willow.
Why not?
Then it might be Jeff Hardy.
You never know. Willow might break Mercedes' leg again.
You know what? That's my girl.
She just might break her leg again and win the belt. Like shit, like you don't know.
All of us, from the NYWC, we're coming out. We're sitting at fucking ringside, and we're gonna make sure her leg gets broken again. God damn it, Willow's our girl.
Just might get her leg popped again. She's one leg pop away.
You know, I did not think of that, and you could be absolutely right about it. So, Willow's back on the table.
I mean, Willow's on the table barring Jesus coming down and breaking her Mercedes ankle.
Unless
she needs Drew McIntyre to pray for her, is what she needs.
No.
Unless Stokely Hathaway has finally, gotten into the mind of Willow Nightingale.
Who the fuck cares about Stokely Hathaway? The only Hathaway we care about is Anne.
Not even Donnie?
Donnie Hathaway? What is love?
Baby Don Horton.
Father of Layla Hathaway?
What are we talking about?
He's an American singer. Where is the love? Where is the?
Oh no? My God! That's about as useful as dropping an Uncle Charlie Wilson reference. Jesus.
The fact that you don't know who Donnie Hathaway is very disappointing.
The fact that I do know who Charlie Wilson is not.
You'll get an invite to the barbecue for Charlie Wilson, sir.
Yes. Good old Uncle Charlie of the Gap Band. Love the Gap Band.
Yep.
Man. He was on The Masked Singer, this season.
He was.
But Vanessa
he was. Yeah, that bitch.
Yes, we saw all of you. Yes, and we see more of your sister every day.
Well, anywho. So it has to be. It gotta be goddamn. Monet, because that's her first goddamn match. So I mean.
Is there an over/under on how many botches we are expecting here? Because there's got to be a lot. There's got to be a lot.
You probably have to go.
I mean, that's how she broke her ankle. So I'm just saying. Mm-hmm.
Scooter, Monette, or Nightingale?
I don't know what the obsession is with bringing in the talent and, trying to get them to legitimize mid-card championships.
Because you can't touch Tony right now. If they brought her in to fight Tony, nobody was going to accept Mercedes.
Well, I can't wait for the day when we get, Mercedes versus Tony Khan. That'll be great. But for right now,
we got that.
Mid-card titles are supposed to be working men's, the working man's titles, and yet AEW has too many of them already now. Back when we were saying, they don't have enough, and now they have too many. This really is a kid discovering e-wrestling back in 1999 and creating his own fed and literally making a title for almost everything he could think of.
Oh, I forgot about those e-wrestling. Holy shit.
Of course, you'd have the world title, you have the international title, and the intercontinental title. You have the TV title, the US title, the North American title, the tag title.
The South American title, the tag title, the hardcore title.
You'd only have one set of tag titles, though.
But 38 singles titles. Oh my God, yes.
You'd have a Four Corners title, except the Four Corners would represent 4 different countries. And all those countries were Puerto Rico.
You know what? Now that you think about it, I need to put that on my resume. I'm a former e-wrestling intercontinental champion. God
Yes,
damn it!
yeah, so was I. So was I. I was a former.
I'm putting that on there. You know how many nights I had to put in my promo? God damn it! I am a former e-wrestling.
Under one of my previous gimmicks of Alex Seitz, I won the FWA Intercontinental Championship from Scott Hall back in 1999. And then my most valued, my most treasured e-wrestling accomplishment is when I assumed the gimmick of Triple X Brock Landers, and I managed to take runner-up in the World Wrestling Alliance's big end-of-the-year Rumble. And I had only been in the promotion for a month.
I thought you were gonna say Triple X Brock Lesnar, and I
Nope.
was like thinking like, wow,
Nope.
if you only knew in 2024.
No, Triple X, Brock Landers, and I did use porn stars in my promotion, in my promos. So, yeah, but going back to is Statlander walking?
I don't think so. I haven't
Well,
heard
does
of
it?
but
Well, it doesn't matter. She's still turning.
Damn.
Clearly, I mean, if Willow goes over clean, then I'm preparing for the end of the world.
I think that.
I mean, Willow went over clean the last time. Why y'all tripping on Willow, man?
I mean, because one, this is not Japan. Two, this is not Japan. Three, this
It
is
happened
not.
in Long Beach. What the fuck?
It's not Long Beach, Japan. Duh.
That shit happened in Long Beach, sir.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I was there.
Long Beach, Japan.
Oh, gosh. Do Long Beach, Japan? New Japan, Long Beach Wrestling? Is that what we working?
We're in New Japan, Long Beach.
I'll keep that in mind.
No, not. Oh, they just beaches. Okay. Thank you and goodbye. I am going to hell, and people are coming with me. God damn it! Oh man. All right.
I'll be there. King of Petty will be there.
Just
I mean,
say
you know,
Mercedes' name, damn it, Scooter.
No, I mean I'm running out the clock here. Let's see. So
Give him pops.
who's been released that can show up again?
It ain't Natalia, so hey.
Valentina Feroz, or did she already show up? She already showed up, didn't she?
She's gone?
Yeah, Valentina Feroz. Not Lola Vice, not the one, not the other one in that tag team that they used to be.
The MMA chick, yes, I know.
Yeah, but maybe they'll get Gable Stevenson.
There you go. Gable
Fine,
Stevenson.
fine. Yeah. No, Willow to win.
I'm going with.
That's what I'm talking about. Say it with your chest, sir.
Bitch needs to be humbled.
That's what I'm talking about. Say it with your chest, Scooter.
But yeah, bitch needs to be humbled, and maybe she needs to be hobbled again.
Well, Drew will have to pray for it. All right. Then we have
The main event.
AEW World Championship match. Christian.
Nope. Next.
Cage match. With Luchasaurus, Damian Wayne, and Mother Wayne versus Swerve Strickland with Prince na 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 na. Hey hey, goodbye.
It's na 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 like the Nelly song, sir. And secondly, if we could have more of a predictable match, Swerve is gonna go Black Panther on his ass. He's gonna go Kendrick Lamar on Drake on his ass. He's gonna whoop that ass from sunrise to sunset.
No, no, he's going to go Killmonger. Clearly, he ain't gonna go Black Panther. He's gonna go Killmonger, man.
See, there you
You
go.
really need to be Killmonger for Christian, though. I mean, Black Panther for Samoa Joe all day long. I mean, Samoa Joe's a beast.
If Mother Wayne is, Shuri, I mean, that's what that's what Swerve needs. Stokely, get in contact with Nana, and get Willow and Swerve, in the same lane here. No. We need we need that strong African American that's on the same, literally on the same level as Swerve, to really like balance this out. Because the thing is, oh God, Christian could talk his way out of having to eat the dirtiest girl's pussy and convince her, he get someone else to do it and still convince her that he gave her the orgasm.
Will you stop it?
Christian, God. If it can happen, it will. If Swerve gets the victory here, Christian goes away. Please, for the love of God, do not continue this, because clearly Killswitch is going to stop it. But Christian being able to get everybody to do the dirty work for him is something I can see at least making it look plausible. That being said, Swerve clearly retains.
Agreed. Alright, and that brings us to probably the main event of this show. The Elite, Kazuchika Okada, Jungle Boy, and the middle-aged Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. They're taking on Team AEW. Don't Call Me Daniel, Bryan Danielson, Debbie Allen, and FTR, Cash Wheeler, Dax Hardwood. Who wins, Kaliko?
Quick question.
Who does he mean by Debbie Allen?
Two quick questions. Why the hell is Darby Allin in this match?
Because
Tony gave him a ride. That's why. Tony looking like that nerd on crack with I'm driving him to the ring. Look at me. I'm the new Mr. McMahon. Come on, let me grab you by the pussy.
I mean, but to be quite honest, I'm just looking at it and everything screams Bucks. Because a hodgepodge of tag teams coming together to just do what?
Correct me if I'm wrong here. This is supposed to be 5-on-5.
No.
Right? What?
No, 4-on-4.
Oh, that's not blood and guts then. Come on. You know what that is? That's blood and putts.
Well, I mean, that's the next, progression from Anarchy in the Arena is Blood and Guts.
Okay, so the Bucks, Okada, and who else? Jack Perry. Why can I think there's somebody else we are forgetting?
Because there probably is.
And it's like we're wondering who's going to be this like fifth man to join Team AEW. And
Maybe.
are we like Mandela affecting our own? Because now I kind of have to double check this because I know what would happen if it ended up being 5-on-5 and there was no, and the fifth person was unknown. Clearly, it'd be Hogan. But whose side was he on? Damn it!
It'd be Steve Border Jr.
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't this start out as Blood and Guts?
No, it was always Anarchy in the Arena.
Oh, fuck off! God damn it! Come on, like, okay. Anarchy in the Arena. Awesome. Great. Usually...
Which arena?
Yeah. Usually takes, See, would have been better, really, if it was Blood and Guts, because you'd have everybody thinking it's Kenny, being that fifth mystery man, and then all of a sudden, nope, he's here, but he's here to introduce MJF. That being said, I expect MJF to make the save for Team AEW here.
Really?
I mean, if you think about it, all of Team AEW is everybody MJF pissed off. And now MJF having gone through that redemption arc and has that kind of almost final stretch to go, because it's going to lead to presumably Blood and Guts with the Undisputed Kingdom. Oh yeah, plus Tony Khan is clearly going to turn heel here.
I don't want to believe it, but I kind of know it's happening.
I mean, like, why else would Tony want, like, it's like, okay, yes, I got involved. You didn't need to be any more involved than, getting your head kicked in, Tony. You literally didn't. You could have actually had sympathy there. Instead, you tried selling it at the NFL draft. Team AEW wins, but the Elite are going to overturn the victory on Dynamite.
Kaliko?
I think the Bugs. I mean, they got the belts for crying out loud. I mean, they're the EVPs. They're gonna pull some bullshit out the way.
Oh my God! Wait a minute. What happened on Dynamite?
No idea.
Oh, you talking about Darby Allin coming out with the flamethrower?
Yeah, that. But who did the Bucks make a deal with? Jay Lethal, or was that Rampage? I'm not even sure anymore. Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, Satnam Singh.
That's still a thing?
Apparently.
No, I'm talking about.
What if we're somehow getting Jinder Mahal?
Oh God.
Help me, Jesus, if we're getting Jinder Mahal.
I can't imagine suddenly deciding to dust Satnam Singh off, put him up against Danielson as some like backhanded plan that where like Jeff Jarrett needed money. Like if anybody, it should be Jeff Jarrett making those damn plans. God, fucking millennials. Team AEW. Again, Team AEW to win. The Elite will clearly turn it over, or they're gonna make it like it's Vietnam and call it a tie.
Kalika, who wins the match?
I think the Bucks.
I agree. I don't think that they're going.
I mean,
Yeah, continue.
based on how Dynamite ended, it would seem that way.
I mean, yeah, I don't think that the Bucks is going to lose. They're trying to get this off the ground. Obviously it's not working, and it's not going to work, but, they have to commit to it now, and they have to make it seem like, they're viable threats, so the Bucks for the win.
What if instead of them committing to try and getting it off the ground, what if they just try to commit to sinking it?
Oh, I think that's what they're doing, but,
No, I mean, like, let them really lean in to the fact that they know what they're doing is beyond preposterous. Not trying to hide behind kayfabe. Like, you know what? Bring reality into it. Literally. That's gonna have to happen here. You want this to really. You get it off the ground by sinking it.
I mean, I think they tried that with the Punk thing.
And
when they released the Punk tape, am I the only one that thought that?
No, you're right. You are absolutely right with that. But I think that was really more of a personal vendetta than anything, quite honestly. And this, there's not an original idea in this unless they literally try to make it so bad that it's good and it gets itself over. Kind of like
Sharknado.
Yes, but kind of like how Tony getting friggin' Meltzer drivered drummed up interest. It was insane. You knew what it was fucking copying, but you know what? It was so satisfying. We're in the age of the anti-hero. This all makes my head hurt. Can I have my cocaine now?
Well, you would have to go to Double or Nothing to get your cocaine.
Damn it! I'm gonna have to wait till I'm at Forbidden Door then.
Okay. So, yeah, one last thing. Swerve and Christian should close out the night, but it is going to be Anarchy in the Arena, right?
Yeah.
I would think not.
Yeah, you know what? And this clearly means...
considering that they put all that work in the And the only reason I say that is considering they put all that work into upping Swerve into being the.
Wait. Swerve and Cage will lose a combined like 14 pints of blood, and we're gonna see the first ever pay-per-view transfusion take place.
Moxley wants to be a part of that, so that might not be viable.
I mean, Moxley will look at it.
Yeah, somewhere Moxley's pissed.
No, Moxley will look at it and be like, dude, y'all some crazy motherfuckers, man. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Like, this is gonna be, it's gonna be Swerve Hangman. You know it is, in terms of performance. You know it, and that's kind of why I just want to watch Swerve and Christian's match, and then just turn it off. I mean, they're gonna lose so much blood, and again, they're gonna fucking walk it off. And then Wednesday night, Swerve is gonna be opening the show defending the title again.
Probably.
Because that's what Swerve does, motherfucker. Jesus.
Wouldn't put it past them.
I think that will conclude our coverage of AEW Double or Nothing. And just
God.
as a whole, join us next week as we will we will review WWE King and Queen of the Ring and Double or Nothing. God help us all. Until then.
Yeah, I thought AEW had some terrible names.
Yeah, just King of the Ring. Fine. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, both on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us Monday as we interview Sunny Z. Tuesday as we interview David Mockery. And Wednesday as we interview Peter Olisander. And then, next Saturday as well. And follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on X, Thread, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Where can we find Kaliko?
I am Kaliko. It's Memorial Day weekend. Remember the fallen. That's all I will say.
And where can we find Scooter?
As always, find me on X at Scooter Dust. That's right, it is Memorial Day. I have fallen and I cannot get up. My stand-up comedy tour live from Tampa, June is back on. Free water at the door. And as always, watch as I promise to do stuff and then don't deliver. Kinda like all your fathers. Also, rest in peace, Morgan Spurlock.
Alright, for Kaliko Yachts and Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with...
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.